Hey guys, Marshall here with another episode. And this one more improvisational. I wanted to talk about in general just focusing your energy towards things. We talked a lot about the chakras and the different ways to find balance and put forth some energy and focus towards them to find improvement in your life. Um, I'll just go over those briefly. Uh, the root chakra, located like in your sort of pelvic area, basically creating that physical presence in the world, that stance. Um, the sacral chakra, and that was your sexuality, your comfortableness in your sexual nature, and everything like that. And your solar plexus, which was in the stomach area. Um, your the heart chakra, which was obviously in your heart. Um, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. All of them, they're different meanings. The heart chakra, obviously, that's like your soul in a way, and um, but in particular, I wanted to talk about creating that focus towards things that actually are in your control. All of these chakras, they have their different elements, and they're all about you and your inner spirit and what you can actually control. And what I just, for example, today I saw a lot of people really upset with the French um, ceremony for the Olympics, and how there was, it almost seemed like they were bashing, well, it was interpreted as they were bashing like Christian culture and the Last Supper, in the way that it was sort of like displayed, and it resembled it a lot. But this interpretation doesn't mean it's factual. It doesn't seem like they're like, you don't really know for sure if they're really trying to bash the Last Supper. Maybe they just want to be a part of the Last Supper and say that they can be a part of Christianity. But really, most people just want to push them away, and sort of they want to control that, and also they want to look for a way to find a flaw in it. And actually, what they, if you really, whenever I watched it, I didn't see it. I mean, I saw it, and I was like, oh wow, people are going to go nuts for this. They're going to really go crazy on social media for this. And I had no idea, but somebody zoomed in, apparently found a ball sack that was hanging out. And I actually seen this a lot before too, where people just kind of like, they're just kind of looking for that bulge, if you will. They're just like looking for something that really just like, I knew he was like a this person or that person or whatever. They're just like looking to, people very like very focused on if they can figure out who that person is, whether they were woman or man or whatever. They're already like start they're breaking it down and like investigating it. And then today we're on to the Olympics, and everybody's competing and doing amazing things. And I was watching the Olympics, and then I looked at my phone, and all I saw was like, this sort of like basically verbal conflict between Christianity, and they don't stand for what's going on over there. And I understand that too. But the one thing is, like, you can't really control what happened over there, and so you're just kind of getting sucked into this effort to try to control things in a way, and you just don't have any control over it. You just can't do it. And so inevitably you just can't fill that void, and this need for control. And then all of a sudden, the next day you do the same thing. You're like looking for this, fill this void of control in a way. And so it's just like, to me, it just doesn't even matter. I don't even care really. For me, I could make a joke about it with my friends, but it wouldn't be because I dislike anything involved in that. I thought it was kind of hilarious how people were just kind of like looking for the ball sack. You know, they're just kind of like it's just it's just kind of an example about people just trying to look for that flaw in whatever it is. Like this video, for example, people are going to look for that flaw in the video, and they're just going to stick to that. Or maybe if they really didn't like me, they would just like post it everywhere. They'd be like, "Oh, look, this guy's talking about, you know, culture in a bad way, or LGBTQ in a bad way, or something." Like someone could literally take like two words out of this and paint it the wrong way, and it's really not. This whole talk is not about. It's all about embracing humanity, really, and not instead of trying to control it. You know, let them do what they're gonna do. It's out of your control. Yeah, you can dislike it all you want, but um, you just need to kind of focus on what's in your realm of control, really. And so instead of focusing on like improving your spirituality, in a way, you're kind of like tainting your spirituality, which maybe isn't the best word in this whole thing. Maybe that might be even also painted in a different way than I want it to be painted. But just control what you can, really. Whatever. If someone looked at all my videos about the chakras and was just like, they could probably easily be like, well, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Look at this. This is the error. This is the error. If you just focus on that little error all the time, you're just never going to make any progress. You're just, it's an effort to control things. It's like a downward spiral, and it'll always lead to you trying to control things. And you need to find a release. If this is the type of person that you are, you do need to find this release. I know people personally that they need to find this release and not to control things. And sometimes in an effort to control things, they end up, just looking like an idiot, really. I experienced that so many times when people wanted to control a sort of, title for somebody. And in the end, it just ended up putting them in a bad light, really. So you just got to find a release in all the chaos and not see everything as like a problem. Because then you're just gonna this one in particular, this video is actually probably would sit a lot with the third eye chakra, which was the which was like how you perceive the world through the astral plane, which is just how you just perceive things. And so if you perceive things as a problem, then that's what they're gonna be like. This, these people dancing or whatever in the French ceremony, you're just gonna see that as like a problem. And there may well have been problems there. Maybe maybe it was certain people maybe that were involved wanted to cause this reaction or wanted to spark some revolution in a way. I don't know, and I'm not gonna say what it is. I don't know, and it's out of my control. And so the only things that I can really control is how I perceive it, and look at the fundamentals, and look at the fundamentals of the third eye chakra, and finding a balance between your left and right brain and how you perceive the world. And so this is just the prime example of how not to get caught into this negative spiral of how you perceive things. Because all of a sudden you end up saying this was an attack or something like that, or you're just interpreting things that way. And to me and my buddies, like, we have our views and stuff like that, but we don't go to social media and try to, this isn't like our chance to find a way to get in the foot in the door, and hold some person back or some group back. You know what I mean? From them being able to express themselves. And but we'll definitely find humor in this stuff. But I really don't think anybody that I associate really hates one or the other. Um, Whatever group that was involved, I don't think anybody that I don't really tolerate that. I don't really tolerate this. If the hate was so extreme that um, it would cause someone to create some sort of action or control over another person, that's just like ultimately the worst case scenario. And I don't really have anybody that I associate with that is capable of that, or that is some sort of pattern for them. So, um, and so inevitably, if you can, try to find how fundamental the association this association with you, and if it's even relevant. If it's something that really even goes against a specific belief, I if I see something like that, I don't just immediately think um, that goes against my beliefs. I actually thought, oh, people were going to take this the wrong way. Like immediately, I just knew, oh, this is going to go real bad. This is going real bad. I just knew the next day it was going to be like this. And while I was enjoying seeing some Olympic swimmers and everything, everybody's chasing their dream. Um, who did it really good? There was a runner that conquered her broken leg, and what an amazing feat she was able to recover almost amputation to be able to get a bronze medal. Just amazing stories and everything like that really stick with me. And so if I was to write a little story on it on the internet, I would probably be it'd probably be really compelled at how specific uh, teams did really well. I saw that the men's volleyball team did really well. Men's soccer did really well today. And so if I wouldn't have seen the social media, I wouldn't even be thinking about this. But it was a good way for me to find something to talk about today. Um, but really, that toxicity, you just need to sort of limit that as much as possible. On my cell phone, I actually removed a lot of social media. I just have Twitter that I mainly look at, and unfortunately, that was all over Twitter. Um, but I try to not associate as much with the social media because it can be really hectic and off the walls, and just the extremes, and everyone's pursuing the extremes of whatever it is, and that's how they get the clickbait. That's how they get the attention, and that's how they try to control narratives. And so I'm very detached from that, and I just let it flow. Like I just let it flow, and I'll use social media not as a way to um, push any sort of agenda. Um, and so this, once again, I mean, I guess you could call it agenda, but I think it's just bettering yourself and your spirituality, and thinking about all of those chakras, and how you can improve. And this one specifically would be an improval of uh, the third eye chakra, for sure. Just how you perceive things, because that actually, the third eye chakra, the next in line is the throat. So once you perceive things, all of a sudden you're expressing, or you're typing away on social media. And so that's where a lot of problems originate. And we got to think about that. We got to think about fundamentally what it is it's actually worth our time to talk about and what's worth our time to express or even dwell on, because there will be certain things that maybe you should dwell on in a little bit. Obviously we talk about, release, and there's certain things that should be very, maybe they're your belief system, or really core things that are happening in your life, but there's certain things you can dwell on. But unless someone's not attacking your beliefs, you should be just vibing, and if someone's attacking your core beliefs, then you just detach yourself from the situation. You just get away from these people if you can, and just live your life. You don't have to be around people that are going to, if they go against your really core beliefs and your essence of life, and they really want to push some sort of agenda on you, you got to kind of find a way away from those guys temporarily, maybe for more than that. But yeah, I mean, just in general, try not to control things as much, or evaluate whether it is that you should be giving your time and energy towards. If it doesn't better you, why waste your time? It's a helicopter coming right over. That's the medical chopper going over to Forbes Regional Hospital. Or actually, not Forbes. That's going down to Mercy Hospital probably. But yeah, think about this. This is really important. Your perception. Maybe you might need to take a break from social media. Maybe I feel like the more and more I take breaks from social media, the more and more I want to take more breaks, and just be out creating content like this that's very positive, and just put it on YouTube. No, I'm not trying to change anybody's opinions. I'm just trying to have people sort of analyze what's actually going on. What's going on in your psyche? How can you improve yourself with the way you think about things? And that's about it, guys. I'm gonna wrap it up. And please like, subscribe to the video, and spend your time wisely and your energy wisely. See ya.